What's going on, Lego Maniacs? It's Ty, the Lego guy here, and welcome to another Lego Star Wars review. Today we're taking a look at the one and only Jango Fett Slave 1, that's set 7153. It has 369 pieces, 2 minifigures retailed for 50 USD, and it came out all the way back in 2002. This is extremely surprising. This model is going for 823 new or 415 used. That is crazy. It's going for over 8 times its value used or 16 times its value new. I know there's inflation, but still, that is ridiculous. But we're going to take a look at this model's positives and negatives and see where it stands. But enough talk, let's get right into it. And to kick us off, we'll begin by giving you guys a 360 view of the one and only Jango Fett Slave 1. This, in my opinion, was the very first good looking Slave 1. Yes, the newer ones are much improved over it, but they basically used this one as a template and just improved upon it. In my opinion, really good looking model. It's a contender for being one of the best Lego Star Wars models of 2002. And yeah, of course, it's kind of special since it is the only Jango Fett Slave 1. Let's now break it down area by area. And the first area that we'll center in on is just going to be the cockpit. So you can very easily access it by just removing this big window piece. And there we have Bubba and Jango Fett. It is kind of unique in the respect that it can seat 2 minifigures. All the other Slave 1s can only seat 1, but it's pretty simply done. They just have a little bit longer plate. There are also a couple unique printed pieces to this set, which is quite nice. There are no stickers in it whatsoever. And then moving to the mid section of the ship, there's a lot of little hatches that you can open up. And right here, they have a couple rockets along with a translucent blue piece. They have another area where they store Jango Fett's or the Slave 1's rockets. Kind of cool. This ship is very well armed and they kind of demonstrate that. On the bottom here we have the main guns and then a couple little compartments where you can store items. I just stick his hair along with his 2 blasters in them. Just kind of convenient. And then moving to the bottom of the ship, and yeah, you can just very easily close it like so, as long as that piece doesn't break. It is a little fragile, so you want to make sure you're kind of careful when messing around with these rockets. And then moving to the bottom of the ship, what I loved about this is, you know the seismic charges, those big bombs that they shoot off? Well, this set does have them. How you kind of shoot them off. You don't really shoot them off, it's kind of like a Y-wing. The bomber, but kind of cool. These are the pieces that they use for them, these orange basically minifigure heads, which work well. Nothing too special about them, but I think they get the job done. And this is what the back of the ship looks like. The engines look decent, but they could be a little bit more pronounced like in future Slave 1s, but I'm not going to fault it too much. The other thing that's really cool about this is it has a magnet piece right here, and it's the only Slave 1 to carry a prison. I guess they weren't putting minifigures in carbonite yet, so they kind of use this, or prisoners I should say, not minifigures. And it will seat a minifigure. In fact, here's the Obi-Wan from that same year. If Jango managed to capture him, you could fit a minifigure in this prison and put him in like so. The magnet's very smart, it's not going anywhere. The other thing with this ship is it's supposed to rotate the wings. I think mine's just old and it's not doing that, but when you put it in flight mode, these wings are supposed to come in like that. And now Jango Fett's piloting it, and then when you put it in landed mode, it's supposed to come down and the minifigures are positioned like so. Overall though, very cool Slave 1. Love some of the features that it includes. Again, I think it's the best, or it was the first good Slave 1 in my opinion. Not perfect, but definitely not bad. Let's now take a look at the minifigures. And here we have one of the most expensive Lego Star Wars minifigures of all time, which is Jango Fett, along with Boba Fett, who's quite expensive as well. Not nearly as much as Jango though. There's a reason why this set's going for over 400 USD used, and it's partly to do with the minifigures. Removing Jango's helmet will show off his face printing, which again is unique to this set. The entire minifigure is unique to it, along with Bubba. And then give you a view again of their front. Definitely good by 2002 standards, and they have that nostalgic look to them. I love the era of these figures. They were detailed but not overly detailed, giving them a nice mix. The other thing that you also get with Jango Fett is a hairpiece. So if you want to apply that, you can. In fact, let's just demonstrate that. It does look a little bit odd just because the rest of his head is completely black. It's kind of like a baklava or something that he's wearing over it, but you can apply that hair if you desire. Jango Fett is definitely one of my favorite Lego Star Wars minifigures, and it's partly to do with him being so unique. I just can't get over how expensive he is. He's going for well over 100 USD. Wouldn't pay that, but definitely a good looking minifigure, and Boba Fett's not too bad either. Let's now get into the end of the review and get my final thoughts. Well guys, that was my review. Do hope you enjoyed it. Like we've been saying, I think that this set, it was very good for 2002. Again, I think it's the best, or one of the best sets of 2002 as far as Lego Star Wars goes. And it was the first good Slave 1. The one that came out in 2000 was atrocious. This was a massive improvement over that. Again, they used this basically as a template for any future Slave 1s, at least the minifigure scale ones. And they've obviously improved on it, but again, they're basing it off of this one. So yeah, overall, really like this. The minifigures are also fantastic. Is this worth $400 US in good condition? No, I would not pay that. I paid a little over 100 US about 2 or 3 years ago, which is kind of crazy that it's going for that much now. It's probably to do with the Book of Boba Fett and the Mandalorian, but still, it is not worth that much. But again, if you can get a good deal on this, I'd say go out and buy it. Just don't literally pay an arm and a leg for it. But as always guys, let me know what your personal thoughts are in this one. If you like it, if you don't, any areas you think they could maybe improve on it. Always interested to hear your guys' take. But that pretty well does the review. But if you liked it, leave it a thumbs up. And if you're new to the channel, definitely consider subscribing and click that bell so you're notified for any future Lego Star Wars reviews, comparisons. We do one of them every single Tuesday, and it's very interesting, especially when you look at a set that's going for 8 times or 16 times its value, depending if you're getting it used or new. But that's all I got for you again. But thanks again for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one.